Kills Like White Elephants, a video essay. It has been 94 years since this short story has been written, and yet some of the themes discussed within it are still the center of huge controversies today. Women of the 1920s were starting to feel a better sense of independence, mobility, and sense of self with the passing of vital laws. These laws allowed them to vote, gain representation in the political sphere, and in general be seen as well-rounded individuals. In Hemingway's 4-page story, he hinted at what the 1920s saw as new women. His main characters were two Americans seemingly finishing up their vacation in Barcelona, Spain, waiting on a train to arrive at the station. While the couple are waiting for the train and talking amongst themselves is where the main conflict arises in the story. There are no physical fights or major scene changes, but what audiences need to focus on is the dialogue between both characters to understand exactly what seems to be the trouble in the paradise that is vacation in Spain. According to Writing the Nations, Hemingway's writing was well known stylistically for its short, declarative sentences and lack of detail. Hemingway often said this style based on his iceberg approach to narrative where, like an iceberg, 10% of the story was on the surface and 90% was under the water. This is exactly what Hemingway does in this story. The main characters themselves are not described with great details, and they are not described to have any huge motivations by some omnipotent narrator so the audience can have more context. Rather, we are given just enough information by almost eavesdropping on a private conversation, probably gaining just as much knowledge as our waitress who darts in and out a few times to serve them their drinks. In the times the two characters converse, they never truly name the issue they are trying to work out, but with the small context given and some interpretation of vague wording such as,
"Once they take it away, you can never get it back."
One realizes the couple is deciding if they should get an abortion. What is fascinating about the story being written in 1927 and supposedly taking place in a time similar to that is that the couple's argument seems fair and civil. Even in present-day 2021, debates on abortion can get nasty as people on the pro-life side and the pro-choice side fight to either legalize abortion or to make it illegal. In 1927, abortion was illegal, but surprisingly, that was not always the way of the land, as in 1880, that was the year that abortion was made illegal across the whole U.S. Before, the procedure could have been done so long as the mother did not feel the baby kicking. Even with abortion being banned less than 50 years before 1927, doctors still performed this procedure behind closed doors, without the authorities knowing, and if this story is based in reality, that could be the couple's option. What's refreshing in the story is that the man of the pair was trying to be understanding. He states, "I think it's the best thing to do, but I don't want you to do it if you don't really want to," when his companion is asking if he really wants an abortion. For a man in the 20th century, he assures her she is loved, does not have to have an abortion if she wants to go through the pregnancy, but still says, in his point of view, he thinks the abortion is what is in their best interests. In today's world, some people and their partners cannot have an understanding conversation about such a heavy topic, so it is amazing to see it taking place here. As mentioned before, women in the 1920s have made such great strides when it came to being seen as respectable people, so Hemingway in this story could be alluding to this in the way the main female character is being respected by her mate. Even when she is stressed and says things such as, "Would you do something for me now? Would you please, 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 please stop talking?" her mate acquiesces to her requests to please her. This is not a story about a man taking over his woman and making every decision for her and treating her any way he likes. Rather, they are equal pupils discussing a serious matter, a huge burden, that big elephant in the room that cannot go away without a decision. The couple drinking alcohol while the woman is pregnant is also a very telling detail of the time, because if they do keep the baby, fetal alcohol syndrome is a very real thing that can harm the development of their child. In real time, however, only by the 1970s was fetal alcohol syndrome realized to be a huge issue, so the couple probably would not have known. Another interpretation of her consuming alcohol while pregnant, even with the risk, could be that it is already set in stone that she is getting an abortion, so it does not matter if she drinks a licorice-flavored beverage. And now it is her mate's job to try and comfort her before the procedure. The debate of abortion continues today for many reasons. One of them could be the legalization of the matter has constantly been changing now as it was then. Some states allowing abortion, some states even threatening to charge the woman for trying to get one. Another reason this debate is always ongoing is because there's just a variety of perspectives on the topics of life, women, and death. People disagree on when a human is considered alive, what borders on taking away women's rights, and is anyone being harmed or killed in the process. This story just shows a small perspective from two adults going through this same debate between themselves. The man wants this abortion, but understands his woman seems unsure of it, so he does not try to pressure her. There's no true answer, and it is exhausting to constantly bicker about it, which is another reason why the woman just wants to stop talking about it. Unfortunately, like her abortion, or her deciding to possibly carry out the full 9-month pregnancy, the issue of abortion in general cannot just go away, and the debate will continue on. For her and her partner, it will maybe continue on the train or at home in her country, but in general, society, the issue of debating abortion will go on.